I'm here to show you these pop can stoves. I've got one here that I didn't crush properly before I taped it, and the tape got a ripple in it, and it's slightly canted. So I'm going to take it apart and show you how I did it. Can you see my hands in the thing up there? I'm going to peel this foil tape off. It's like a flue tape that you'd use on a stove, on a fireplace. And then I can separate the two halves, and what I have here is the bottom of a soda can with the bottom cut out with a razor knife, and then the edge is just rolled in there so that it's nice and safe. It's cut here and then gently sanded to remove any burrs. And there's holes drilled in it. You can see the holes, I think, drilled in here. That's the top half. The bottom half is the bottom of a soda can, complete, just cut with a slight crimp to it so that it will fit inside the top. Newer designs have you build a spreader, which is basically a die, which is a full soda can, highly polished, and you use that, the soda can is full, you don't drain the soda out, so it's nice and hard, and you put a lubricant on it, and you have this bottom piece, and you have this die, which is the full soda can bottom polish with lubricant on it, and you basically ram it in here, and it spreads this bottom ever so gently. And then when you go to fit the top fits in it, so it's a nice design. So the bottom is just the bottom of the can with a little bit of an edge to it, and then this is just the side of a soda can with a hole punched in it, a very small one, and then two slits cut so that it'll close together like this. Okay? And it's got to be perfectly square and flat, and it sits right there inside that rim. And in the top, based upon what design you do, this rim here will fit and hold this centerpiece. Takes some working. And then when it's in there, you want to weight it so that it's square, flat, everything's nice, and then you can tape it and then test it. So that's the design. I want to show you a one burning. Here's one that I built that I'm much prouder of. It's a much nicer fit and finish. What I'm using here is 91% rubbing alcohol. You can use the 80 or 70 or 71, or the higher the content, the better. If you go to Walmart, you're probably not going to find this. You need to go to an actual drugstore. And I'm not going to pour very much. I'm probably going to only put 3/8 of an inch in the bottom of this thing. What happens is it's going to fill in this bottom thing, and that hole that's punched in that center sleeve, it's going to run through that hole and fill the gap in here. So this will have some in it, and that'll have some in it, and it'll equalize. They're very easy to light because as soon as that rubbing alcohol goes in there, it begins to evaporate. Right now that rubbing alcohol is heating up. And as it heats, it begins to expand and vaporize. As it begins to vaporize, it pressurizes this inside piece. It pressurizes in here, forcing it in this gap. When it's forced into that gap under pressure, the vapor begins to come out these holes. And as the vapor begins to come out these holes, Emily, you could turn off the light, please. You can see it. It's going to start flashing right now. Can you see it in the center? I'm going to turn the light off now. Okay. It's still building up pressure. And you can see that open top design. It is wasting some fuel. It is burning some fuel, and it's sending it straight up out the top of that jet. But it has to do that to preheat. I haven't found any other stove that doesn't have some sort of a preheat requirement where you use fuel. Some of them have it where you put it in a separate dish. This one, you put it right in the stove itself. When it gets good and hot enough, you can take your stove and take your pot with your liquid in it, and it will extinguish that center fire. So then you just have the side jets going. And the side jets, the other reason I went with the kind of stove that has the side jets versus the top jet is my pot is kind of big, and I wanted the heat to go right at the edge of it. And what that does is, I think it heats my pot a little bit better. If I had a smaller pot or only took like a cup or one of those, there's a brand of a special cup, jet boil cup, I'd probably want a top fire or one of those Photon or a different type of model. But this one seems to heat that really well.